Okay, right now I'm going to show you how to put the optional steering arm on your Mousetrap car. You're going to need a little bit of super glue. You're going to need something to cut with, so I have a little saw here. You're going to need your rails, and you're going to need the little nylon screw with the washer and the nut. You'll need a ruler, and you'll need an extra piece of balsa wood, either something that you cut off or from your third rail. First thing that we're going to do is we need to measure back about 35 millimeters off the end of one of your rails. So I'm going to go 35 millimeters, just 3.5 centimeters, and you'll also need a pencil. Make a quick line, and that's where I'm going to cut that off there. Okay. And then from that line, I'm going to measure 10 millimeters or 1 centimeter, and that's where I'm going to drill a hole. So first thing, I'm going to go ahead and take the saw, cut this 35 millimeter piece off of here. That's all I need to do for that. Okay? So now this will be 35 millimeters shorter than your other rail, so you can see that, right? And you can see it's a little bit shorter. Okay, I'm going to take my piece of scrap and I'm going to measure 55 millimeters. And this is going to be my steering arm, so I'm going to cut that off at 55 millimeters. Okay. And then I need one other piece. This is going to be my spacer, and it's going to be at 25 millimeters. So you can see 25 millimeters there. Cut this little extra piece off here. Alright. Okay. Now I'm going to glue this piece here. It's not super. Alright, I won't need a whole lot. I'm just going to put a little bit of super glue on this piece here. I guess I'm almost out, so. There we go. Got a little stuck in the end. Now, I'm going to get these glued together here. Press those together for a second. Let that glue set. Okay, so while I'm letting the glue dry, I'm going to take my rail that is the right length, okay, and I'm going to measure back from the front of the car. So this is my rear, okay, and this is the front. I'm going to measure back from the front of the car, and I'm going to see how far back my front axle is. In my case, it's exactly 1 centimeter, so that's easy. And what I'm going to do then is I'm going to measure back on this new arm that I made, that same distance, 1 centimeter. And I want to put this dot right in the center because I want them to match up. Okay, so you'll see I put a dot right in the center. That's where I'm going to drill another hole. And I will need to drill one more hole, and that's going to be 15 millimeters back from the front of this lever arm here. Okay. Alright, so after I drill these holes, I'll come back and I'll show you what the next step is. In our class we have a little Dremel tool that we use for drilling all of our holes, and I have 3 of them. So we made one mark here at 1 millimeter back from the edge. I'm at 1 centimeter. Okay, and I have one here that is 1 centimeter back, and here that is 1.5 centimeters or 15 millimeters back. So I'm going to drill both of those holes. This time I'm going to do it so hopefully you can see. What I do is I just line it up so I know that this little drill press mini drill press is going to go right onto the hole that or the mark that I made. Right through here. And then one more. Okay, now all my holes are drilled. Okay, now that I've drilled my holes, I can go ahead and attach this steering arm. Oh, I'm sorry, I got one more thing that I need to do. I need to make a slot right here, and we're going to just cut that. So basically, I'm really cutting straight back from the top of the circle the hole that I drilled, and then I'm going to go do the same thing towards the bottom. And that way what I'm end up doing is making a little slot for that screw to travel. I'll show you a close-up here in a second. Okay. So you'll see what I did. See what I did. It's just make a slot right there. Okay. So now what I can do is I'm going to pop this on one side. I'm going to put this screw through. Okay, and you can see it comes right through. There's the little slot. I'm going to put my washer on it. And then I'm going to put the nut on there. Okay. Alright, so that's really it. So now you can see that I can slide this forward and backward. And you see what it's going to do is it's going to slide this axle hole forward and backward. And that will allow me to adjust the angle of my axle. So you'll notice that if I loosen it up, if I move it forward, it's going to move the axle this way, so it's going to make the car turn to the left. And if I move it backward, it's going to make the axle turn this way, and it's going to make the car turn to the right. So if my car is drifting one way or another, then I can adjust this until I get it perfect, and that thing goes straight down the track. So there is your optional steering arm for the Mousetrap car. Have fun with that.